Hey everybody, welcome to Camel City Chat. I'm John McPherson, and I am here with Lisa and Joanna, and we're going to talk about some different things, but let's do the official introductions. I don't have my glass on, I got to read. So, Lisa Marshall, what is this thing? I mean, it's changed in the last week or two, probably. I mean, so you are the Chief Philanthropy Officer and Vice President, Office of Philanthropy and Alumni Relations, Atrium Health, Wake Forest Baptist, Wake Forest University School of Medicine.
Yeah, would you like me to add some more words?
Well, aren't you guys starting to merge with somebody too? So that's...
Well, we have a strategic combination, the Atrium Enterprise with Advocate Aurora Enterprise.
Right.
And that's under regulatory review right now, but
so we'll talk about that, right?
That.
Yeah. And then you have an associate vice president. See, I got to give her grief about this. And the same, all that kind of stuff. So this is Joanna Lyall and Lisa Marshall. And so what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about both of them, and then they've got some really cool things that they are doing here to raise money for cancer patients so that no one ever suffers through cancer by themselves, and that's going to be what some of the focus is. But before we get to there, you guys know the questions, but before we even get to there, so Joanna and I went to college together.
I'm very proud of you.
Yeah, thank you. And so with that, I thought that we should start off the episode and call this, How Good is Joanna at Her Job?
Perfect episode.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, Joanna. Where are you from? So our first question is where are you from and how long have you been here? So where are you from and how long have you been in the Forsyth County area?
Okay, I am originally from Statesville, North Carolina, and I've been in the Forsyth County area for since 1993.
Right.
Took a brief time out from 97 to 2000, moved to Hickory, and then came back to Winston-Salem in 2000 and back to what was then Wake Forest Baptist Medical Center in 2001. So I just celebrated 21 years here at Atrium Health, Wake Forest Baptist.
Pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And you, where are you from and how long have you been here?
So I am from the Michigan area and raised my family in Cleveland, Ohio. We were there for 28 years, and my husband and I came down to Winston-Salem so that I could come join Wake Forest Baptist 11 years ago. Mm-hmm. And fortunately, 2 of our 3 kids are now down here as well, so it's terrific. We love the community.
Now, you have a daughter. Where did she go to college?
Well, interestingly enough, she went to school at Appalachian State.
What a good school.
Yeah.
Where did you go, Joanna?
Appalachian State.
Yeah. So you went to Michigan State.
That's right.
So we can be friends because it's not Michigan.
Exactly. We
Right.
have a common enemy, and that's a good thing.
So now, did you live anywhere else in the state besides at Michigan State, or?
Lived actually just outside of Ann Arbor.
Okay.
But both of my parents were Ohio State graduates, so U of M was never on the
Right.
radar.
Gosh, what a horrible thing to do if you have like the new Big Ten Network or something, and have the first game be Appalachian versus Michigan. That'd be horrible, wouldn't it?
Oh, I would eat that up.
Yeah. I was born in Rochester, outside Detroit.
Oh, very good.
So we moved down this way, I guess in 74. 74 we moved to North Carolina, and then 77 up here.
So you got here earlier than I did.
Yeah, but this, no, she's from Statesville. And it's all one word too. Statesville.
That's right.
Statesville.
You got to learn to say things right.
Right.
That's right.
So because we are right now in the heart of Buena Vista. But no, and I feel like coming here, when we got on the elevator, it felt like we were going like into some secret compound, just so you guys know. You need to brighten it up in here or something like that. So you all have both been here for a while. Now the next question I normally ask people is, what's your favorite place to eat?
Oh, gosh. I love Willow.
Willow? Oh, isn't it great?
Yes.
Good setting, especially if you can sit out on the outside and do that. But, they always have some of the best, what is it they always make a special? Is it a pimento cheese or something they make? Something special each?
They've got a lot of specials.
So good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you?
I would have to refer to an oldie goldie in the Buena Vista area, Diamondback.
Diamondback? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
good.
One of my favorite
That's a good
places.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And so then the last thing is, what do you guys like to do around here?
Well, when I make the time for it, I do love to go visit waterfalls.
Okay. All right. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. What about you?
Blowing Rock is my very favorite place.
Yeah.
So
Blowing Rock, and of course now your daughter's too big to do it, but going to the park and Blowing Rock is the thing to do.
it is.
And when's the last time you were in the park?
Probably a few months ago.
Okay, so since they've added the trout and the updated and all that kind of stuff.
No, I have
upstairs-
not.
Oh yeah,
yet.
no, they've redone all the playground
Okay.
areas, so we do that too. We
Yeah.
ended up getting a place over on our side of the mountain, and so we come over and play there.
Oh,
It's-
cool.
Nice.
It's nice.
That's
yeah.
great.
Yeah.
It's always like 15 degrees cooler too, so that's what's better. And Stable just told me that Friday of this week it's gonna be like 90 here.
Yes, it is supposed to be a little toasty.
Well, let's get started about you guys now. You are married with a couple kids?
3 kids, all adults, and 2 granddaughters now.
Holy cow!
Yeah.
All right. And you're married, got a daughter, and when's the wedding?
Next April.
Aren't you glad?
And
Ready?
she went to Appalachian.
And she
as
went to
well.
Appalachian too. And wait, where did her fiance go?
Appalachian
Yeah,
as
see,
well.
there you go. So,
Yeah.
I mean, why don't we just talk about
Yeah,
this?
that's-
Yeah.
The whole time. All right. So what I think the big scratch the surface for you guys is what do you guys do? Because I know one person that's worked with you, Norm Potter. Norm bought my
Right.
wife's business. I think when he was still here, Griswold Home Care.
Yes.
And so why are you in existence? I mean, I don't understand. It's okay. So we know it's a nonprofit hospital.
That's right.
So you got to get money somewhere. So explain to us what you guys do. So whoever wants to take that one.
So our role is to support the needs of the health system, and that includes the hospital as well as the School of Medicine. So as you can imagine, on the school side, we're really supporting education and research. We have a lot of students who benefit from scholarship funding, and frankly, there are students who would not be able to get through medical school if it were not for that scholarship funding. So that's very important. And then the research element is really critical. As an academic learning health system, one of our roles is not only to provide the clinical care in the community, but really to always be looking to the future. What's the next cure? What's the next therapy? How do we best approach our patients? And all of that requires research. And the really exciting thing about it for this community is that our research not only impacts the care that we deliver here, but it impacts care all across the country and across the world. So there are some very unique things going on here that it's really important we go out and tell the story about that research.
It's not like you got digital printers, print and scan or anything like that, right?
Yeah, we might have a few really
Modif-
fascinating things going
Modified
on.
inkjet printers, huh?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
And what got you guys? What got you guys into this? Because I mean, I've as I said, I've known Joanna for a long time, and I don't want to say how long that is because then it says how long we've been out of school. But someone sent me something the other day that said like if 1970 to now is the same as like 1918 or something. I don't need that stuff.
No,
That's-
we don't need that.
So
Let's
what-
not talk
yeah,
about
right.
the years.
Yeah.
So what got you guys into this? Because I know you were involved with Best Health.
I was
for a
with
while.
Best Health
Right.
when I was at the medical center several years, was in the marketing department, and had an opportunity to come over to philanthropy. And great segue, Lisa was talking about telling the story, and one of the roles that I have here in this department is to tell the story about our donors and philanthropy for the medical center and the school. So I get to do that through print, through social media, have a team that works on that, and so very exciting.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now, so scholarships obviously for the School of Medicine. All right. So we raise money for that. Then we raise money for research so that somebody can do some things and interesting stuff or whatever.
Right.
And I will tell you, as crazy as it sounds, I had a client that I helped. Both of them worked in research, and one of them did something with honeybees and cocaine or something. I mean, it's just like there's so much research on stuff that you don't even think about. I was a congressional intern when the Silver Spring monkey trials happened and stuff like that. And I mean, all of this stuff helps people maybe one day after suffering a catastrophic injury to the spinal cord to be able to walk again.
Right.
And things like that. So the work you guys do there is phenomenal. So you're raising money. I mean, are you guys writing grants to get this? Are you going out to individuals? I mean,
All of the above.
okay.
We do grant writing with foundations, and we work with folks in the community, and we work with individuals well beyond the local community who have interest in those areas. And then we also do the fundraising to support some of the clinical needs as well, which we'll talk about a little bit more today. And it really is important because insurance doesn't cover everything, and some people don't have insurance. So there's a lot of need for financial support.
So when you have, I mean, what is it like for you all when you have someone like a Dr. Atala who has put Winston-Salem, on the map for regenerative stuff, and that we now have a conference, what is it, every other year is here and then somewhere else? What does that do for you all as a fundraising arm when you have people that are well known throughout?
Yeah, it's really terrific. The work that he is doing is so significant that we really can go all across the country and share that message. And there are folks who want to support that, but there may not be anything. In the case of regenerative medicine, in most cases, there won't be anything in their community.
Right.
And so they're looking for that opportunity, and we have it here.
And it's crazy because the spray on skin stuff or whatever, who would have thought that something as crazy as, hey, you don't even stitch it anymore, you just put super glue into a wound now to stuff. I mean, all this stuff comes from research. I don't know if it came from here or whatever. And then we've had Dr. Ohl on before, who he represented you guys okay during COVID. He's crazy.
He is a wonderful partner. We've had a lot of fun with him.
He is a lot of fun, and I will tell you a story off the charts here of what he did for me. It was really hilarious. My wife is still laughing at what he said to me. But when you guys do this, I mean, for people that don't do fundraising, how do you do this? I mean, do we come in and we have a goal setting at the beginning of the year and we say, hey, we need this much water in this glass, we need this much? I mean, how do you guys figure that out?
Yeah, it's really a moving target. We do go into each year with a set of objectives. But there are always things that are coming up. So, a new research program gets defined, or something else changes in the health system. There's a capital project that comes along, and we do our very best to identify what the opportunity will be in the community or beyond the community. And then we get after it. We start talking with people, we find out what they're really interested in, and we see where they want to make an impact. And that's the bottom line. The need is significant. It will always be here. And our job is really to understand what people are passionate about, and then we make the match.
So, all right, I mentioned Norm Potter earlier. Norm doesn't know how to ask for money. I mean, he's never done anything in fundraising, et cetera, and stuff like that. How do you find and identify those people? I mean, do you make asks? Do you make asks? I mean, what do you look for in foundation work? Before you answer that, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Camel City Chat. Welcome back to Camel City Chat. I'm John McPherson. I've got Lisa and Joanna here, and we're talking about development here at Wake Forest University Baptist Medical Center, Atrium Health, Wake Forest Baptist, Wafubamik, Wake Health, whatever the new email address is.
You got it all.
My wife worked in strategic planning. I don't know if you knew that.
No.
And I actually did work for the medical center, and that's how I told you to say.
Okay.
Yeah, so all right, so what I was, as we were leaving the last segment, I want to ask about, what defines that person that asks, and do you guys make the ask? And we talked a little bit off camera. You have somebody wins the lottery or something, might give you money, but, you have a history prior to this
in banking.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was actually in banking for 20 years, and I think that what I developed over the course of that career was a real comfort level in terms of talking with people about their financial needs and plans. And I think that translated for me very well into fundraising, because really what we're about is matchmaking. It's about understanding what passions people have, what they're really interested in, how they want to make an impact, and then ensuring that their financial gifts are a means to an end. And so it's very much about getting to know people and their passions. I like to think that if you're going to be a good fundraiser, it starts with curiosity. You really have to learn what people are all about. And then you have a path to follow. But until you know that, it really isn't just about calling somebody up and saying, hey, would you make a gift?
See, and that's the thing, because I often find in fundraising that a lot of organizations will say, hey, can we have $5? And then as soon as you do that, the other hand comes around and goes, and hey, it's been a day since you gave me the fund. And I think that turns people off about it. But when you have that passion, for instance, someone may want to donate to the arts, someone may want to donate to the football team at a college, whatever that is, it really defines how you interact with them. And I understand the financial thing, because being a realtor, for me, it's like, how much you owe on the house and stuff like that, it is. But it's interesting, and I think that you're both very well suited for your job. Of course, you and I meeting, but I mean, is there anybody more organized than her? It's ridiculous.
I don't think there is.
I mean, she gave me questions to ask, and I'm like, I'm the Tasmanian devil who flies by the seat of my pants, and you want me to go, what does this, we'll get to those.
Joanna's done a wonderful job with the communications and all of the events and activities that we manage, and she is tremendous.
Well, Best Health was a great thing. I mean, it was so cool to have that outreach there, and and I wish she'd just go to a meeting or show up to something and represent the medical center. She's always just in her office, never doing anything.
Yeah, that's the one downfall.
We had 3 o'clock. She walks in at 2:59. I mean, come on.
That's Joanna.
That is her. Yeah, I pray for Troy a lot. I mean, so, but no, what do you guys? So what are your projects? I know we've got this one, but on January 1st, we've defined what we want to do. What's one of your first? Because you have several probably big projects throughout the year. So what are some of your projects?
Yeah, there's a lot going on all the time. So on a regular basis, we're always raising money for all of our clinical service lines, all the different care that we bring to the community. We have an Eye Institute campaign that's active right now. We're looking to build a new Eye Institute down in the Innovation Quarter. We're really excited about that because it will bring a lot more care to the community, to a broader reach in the community. So that is an active campaign to support that building. And then we're working right now on our research enterprise and defining what opportunities we'll have in the future for some fundraising there, so more to come on that front. And right now, we're very active in supporting the Cancer Patient Support Program.
Okay. And that's pretty much one of the reasons why I'm here, is because you guys have different events, and this will be one of the events. Before we get to that, now I know Friends of Brenners does the Brenners like cheers and stuff like that. Do you all help them with that, or is that's a whole separate entity?
No, that's all part of our office
and
what we do. And we do have an annual event called Cheers for Brenners. And we've had tremendous support from the community for that event.
That's a really fun event.
It's a great
It's a
event.
very fun event.
Yes. Make sure that you have a driver. It's a nice event.
Everybody has a good time.
I was in line and Billy Prim was in front of me. I mean, it's just we went several years back, and it's just a great time.
Yeah.
And so what other events like that do you guys do?
Well, those are the two really big signature events that we do, but all through the year we have a lot of different activities where we're engaging donors and constituents in the community, and of course we're engaging our alumni. We just finished up, about 10
2 weeks
days
ago,
our Alumni Weekend.
All right, so that was the other thing that's part of your, in here somewhere, Alumni Relations. So are you like the alumni section of just the medical school? So if I went to Wake for, like they'd accept me. If I went to Wake for, and got my doctor, became a doctor here, my MD, so then now I'm on your mailing list of, hey, you're doing real well. Don't forget how you got here, help out with a scholarship or something like that.
Absolutely. So we manage our Alumni Relations, which means our Medical Alumni Association Board. We work with them. We work with all of our alumni across the country. So our folks actually travel out to visit alumni. And we have different kinds of events and activities around the country so that we can bring alumni back together and they can stay current on what's happening at the School of Medicine.
Right. Okay. And so you just had 2 weeks ago, you had your...
We had Alumni Weekend, and for the first time in quite a while, because of the pandemic, we were able to bring everybody back for Alumni Weekend, and it was really terrific. We had a great turnout. Everybody really enjoyed it, and it was a great opportunity for people to really catch up on what's happening here.
So how long has there been a medical school? And if you don't know off the top of your head, that's fine. I mean,
I won't even try to give you the history
Okay.
of the medical school, other than to say, you know, it's been here a very long time. It was originally known as the Bowman Gray School of
Bowman Gray
Medicine.
School of Medicine.
And then
Who, by the way,
became-
Bowman Gray IV has been a guest on the show.
Oh, very
So,
good.
yeah, Bo and I went to high school together. So there's a common theme here. Yeah. Wait do you get to the people I've been? I'm just, but no. So with this, how many alumni do you guys have? I guess was the number that I'm getting to, or guesstimation of in your. I mean, and then how many come back? I mean, is it?
Well, when we do Alumni Weekend, we do it so that classes come back every 5 years.
Mhm.
So we know that everybody can't get back here every year, and that allows us to really kind of personalize the events and the discussions to things that are relevant to
Right.
those class years.
Wow. Okay. And how many students are in a typical class?
For the MD, we have around 146
Okay.
students. But in years
Yeah.
past, we've just ramped up to 146 in the
Right.
past few years. But years past, it was like 70 and then 90.
Right. And then now is you also have a PA program
We
too?
have a PA program, and we have nursing programs, a CRNA and a DNP.
Wow.
Program. And of course, the size of the classes will continue to grow as we build our second campus in
Right.
Charlotte.
And so you guys will be responsible for that as well.
That's right. It's one school of medicine, and we will be in 2 locations.
Okay, kind of like what Gardner Webb did when they came down here and did some classes and stuff to get people to get their MBAs and things like that, but obviously on a much larger scale. Appalachian now has a school in Hickory, I guess, and stuff. That's a
Right.
very popular trend.
Yeah.
I think the reason why I asked that specifically like I did is, you know, a lot of people feel like that, are we going to lose more of Wake to, you know, to Charlotte and stuff like that, so it's good to hear that we get to keep you guys up here.
We're staying rooted right here in Winston-Salem.
Hey, moving once, you don't need to move the second time, right?
There you go.
All right, so what is the Cancer Patient Support Program?
Well,
There's your question, John. That's
That's
There
my
right.
you
first
go.
question. Did I ask it right?
You did.
Yeah, no,
Did a
so
good
what
nice job.
is CSP?
so the
CPSP.
Cancer Patient Support Program is really a very important and unique set of services that we provide for those who are going through cancer. And it's really important because there are so many psychosocial elements to the diagnosis of cancer, and people are dealing with much more than just the physical issues of cancer. And so this program is very much geared toward helping the patient and their caregivers, the family members, so that they can really do holistic healing and deal with the emotional issues associated with cancer, and also prepare them to deal with the post-cancer things that they're going to deal with, because there are emotional elements that carry on after they have defeated cancer. So it's really an all-inclusive way of looking at the patient and being very sensitive to treating all of what they're dealing with.
So my mother-in-law just was diagnosed with breast cancer, and I have several friends that, of course, have fought, and we prefer to say kick cancer's butt. But so I don't as a profane, not of the temple, I think is the term or whatever. If you're not in it, you don't understand it, and so someone like Norm, Norm Potter has been phenomenal in posting everything he's going through, and he's been purposeful in saying, hey, this is what I'm going through, you need to understand this for other people. What are those steps that you guys have kind of identified in the sense of, in largest sections, as you want to say, that people need to understand that you're working towards to educate people with?
So I think that there are just a lot of emotional issues that people go through, and it affects their families as well. And so the services that are offered are really to help them develop the coping skills, to ensure that they're addressing the emotional issues that they're dealing with. And there's all kinds of different approaches to that. There are support groups that are aligned out of the Cancer Patient Support Program. There's art therapy programs. There are different tools that they're able to provide. There's the opportunity to talk with the doctors about the psychological issues that they're facing, and recognize that those aren't unusual. That's part of the cancer process and cancer treatment, and it's nothing that they need to hide or be ashamed of.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. It's like, we don't understand. I mean, the doctors do this every day, but yet to the patient, it's the first time. And so, I mean, even with the doctors, they have to realize, hey, roll back, go. And so with this program, obviously we're raising money to continue to provide materials and educate and all that kind of stuff. What's the event that you guys are talking about doing with this?
Well, I'll tell you all about our event that's coming up.
All right. So when is the event?
The event is Saturday, June the 4th.
Okay.
And I'll give you a little bit of back history on the event. Typically, we've had Winter Lark, and for obvious reasons, we did not do Winter Lark this year. COVID was the reason that we did not gather together in the traditional fashion, but Winter Lark is a long tradition here with the medical center and the community to raise funds for the Cancer Patient Support Program. So we heard it said earlier today in a meeting, and I thought it was so well put, that our community and our team has been extremely flexible in supporting the Cancer Patient Support Program. And the one way that we have recently flexed is to transition for this year from Winter Lark to what we're calling Summer Lark. And it's still an opportunity to gather, and for the same individuals that have come together every year for Winter Lark, but then also to invite the community to be a part of this time to help cancer patients.
Okay.
So Saturday, June 4th, we have plans now to have a concert in Bailey Park.
All right. I could never guess where it was going to be.
Never,
I knew where it was going to be before she even said it.
Yes.
There's like this quarter thing there. Okay.
Yeah, innovation
I knew
quarter.
Exactly where it's going to be.
We've been there once or
Yeah.
twice.
So we have a whole team behind and a community behind planning this event, and the creativity around it, and lots of moving parts, as have been in the past 2 years, but it's come together nicely, and we have a opening act, and then Aloe Black is our.
All right, so hold on.
Yeah, you want me to
We're going
stop
to take a
there?
break.
Gonna take a break.
We'll be right
Okay.
back and hear about exactly who's going to be performing at Summer Lark, formerly known as Winter Lark. We could do that as like a logo or something. We'll be right back with more Camel City Chat. Welcome back to Camel City Chat. I'm here with Lisa Marshall and Joanna Lyall, and they are both philanthropic officers and associates or vice presidents
More or less.
of Atrium Health Wake Forest Baptist.
You got it.
So I was around when they went from the Wafubamik to the Wake Health thing. That was a big thing. Oof. Changing all the emails.
Yeah, it takes a little time to catch up on all that, but
Yeah.
but we're doing very well, and we're excited about it.
But not as excited as we are about Summer Lark.
We
There we
are.
go.
Tie in
We
there.
are.
No,
Okay.
seriously. So we're at Bailey Park, which I'm going to ask you guys a question before we go here in a few minutes about downtown and where you've seen it come from. So remember that. But what is it again? Explain. It's a concert and
Okay.
Okay, go back.
Summer Lark is a concert, outdoor concert in Bailey Park.
Right.
Aloe Black is our act,
Okay.
musical act that day. And it's at 6 p.m. on
Okay.
Saturday evening. We have an opening act Alex Key. He's local to the Wilkesboro area and up and coming star. 2 different music genres. We have Alex's country and then Allied Black's music. We'll have food trucks at the concert, opportunities to support the Cancer Patient Support Program through donations, ticket sales, and just lots of fun. And again, like I said earlier, a way for the community to get involved in the care of our patients at the Cancer Patient Support Program.
All right, so we're going downtown, and we can now. Are the food trucks? Are they giving some money back to you all, or they're just there to support the event?
They will be giving a little bit of that back to us.
And have you talked to the restaurants around? Are they doing anything?
We have.
Okay.
Don't put me on the spot, but
No,
yes,
that's
we've
okay.
talked to the restaurants around that are supporting the event.
There's a couple, you know, there's a new one down there that
I know.
Okay,
I
so
know, yeah.
so we've got that. There's cool places to go. You know, we can do the concert. We can go get the chocolate, whatever they're serving. Oh my God, those drinks are so good. You know, and have some fun and enjoy time out outside, which is good too.
Outside, right.
And it's June the
4th.
June the 4th.
Saturday, June the 4th.
Okay, right.
It's a good family event.
Right. All right, and now starts at 6, and then. But if I want to just, what if I can't make it? I just want to give money.
If you can't make it, you can still join us in the cause.
Okay.
Right now, we have the Ribbon Challenge going on, and you can do peer-to-peer fundraising.
What is the ribbon challenge? Because you've mentioned this 2 or 3 times before we've done this.
So the color of the ribbon will designate different types of cancers. So breast cancer is one that we all know, pink ribbon.
Right.
So if someone has had breast cancer, wants to support someone that's fighting breast cancer, can choose the Pink Ribbon Challenge and raise money for that cause and go and set up their peer-to-peer fundraising page.
Okay.
And so all this can be done by going to, I have to look really quickly so I don't get this wrong.
Watch this. Wait.
You're just going to add
Put
it.
it up on the screen
Okay.
for us. Okay.
You'll
So
have the
yeah, so
giving
yeah.
link there on
Yeah.
the screen
I
and
think we've even
all
got a
of the
QR code.
details.
So at the end of this, we'll put it there so
Yes.
that you can, you know, do that.
Right.
Okay.
So they can get involved that way if they can attend the concert. We'd love for them to do both and love for them to consider making a gift to the Cancer Patient Support Program.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so we have this event, it's a huge success, the money comes in, and then what do we spend it on? We spend it on just the program itself?
All of the proceeds go to the Cancer Patient Support Program, and they really pay for the services that are offered to the patients.
Right, okay. Because, you know, counseling and those, someone to open up the building, et cetera, that doesn't come free.
That's right.
And so when my mom passed away, I guess it's probably been 6 years ago, I remember that hospice was there with, you know, do you need to come do this or do you need to come do that and all that kind of stuff, and different situation. But it just seems to me that anytime, you know, anything happens with our health, there's grieving, you know, from a broken finger to getting cancer. You're dealing with something different, and you need to have someone there that can, I know that's not a really good comparison, but to me it's kind of good. You really need to have someone there to explain to you what you're going through, that's been through it before, that still is realizing that it's unique to you.
Absolutely, and it is unique to every patient. And the other thing that I'll point out is that the Cancer Patient Support Program has really grown significantly. They've been adding services as, you know, they've learned over time what it is that patients need. But especially during the pandemic, they've done a wonderful job of providing virtual services. So if a patient can't come in, they can still get access to services. And that's really important, not only during the pandemic and the need for virtual services, but think about folks who don't have transportation or live in a rural area.
Or
And
weakened immune systems.
Right.
Exactly. So there's all kinds of reasons that might hold someone back, but our services are being made available even if they can't get here.
That's awesome. Yeah. So I put this up here because, you know, where our Wake Forest was on your table, and I'm excited to remove that from being on my stuff because, you know, but what is this?
That, if you've seen any of the Summer Lark posters,
Right.
is our Winter Lark has 2 birds
Right.
typically on the invitation so that no one faces cancer alone.
Right.
And so we took that and moved it into the Summer Lark. So this, and I'm also wearing one, we had a cancer patient
Right.
who wishes to remain anonymous, that is involved in pottery and artwork.
Right.
And we asked if she would commission something specifically for this event.
Right.
So she came up with this lovely design, and we'll be selling a
Beautiful.
very limited number of brooches and earrings for Cancer Patient Support Program. And all proceeds will go back to our patients. And just another detail about that story, which was very touching to me, is the person that created these has been a cancer patient, but also had help from another individual that's been recently diagnosed with cancer, and they assembled them and put them together, and they were given to me this weekend with lots of love and lots of time dedicated to our cancer patients. So
That is
really,
so cool.
really a nice touch for our event.
I came from a meeting today. When I was president of the Realtors Association, one of my chair people came to me and said, "Hey, I've got like stage 4 cancer. You need to get someone else to do this. You know, well, I want you to still be on the committee or whatever." And I said, "Because you're going to get cancer's butt, and only because you're here am I saying butt, just so you know." And so I talked to her, and she said, "Hey, I guess it was about a year later." She said, "Hey, I'd gotten into a special thing, and my pills are like $10,000 a pill, and they're giving them to me as a test." I saw her before I came to see you guys today. Guess what she told me? I'm cancer free.
Wow.
Wonderful.
Great lady.
Mm-hmm.
And didn't fight it alone. We all knew what was going on, and had her still be chair even though she didn't want to be and stuff, because if you felt good enough you should come in, that type of mentality. It's just, no one should fight this alone.
No.
And I love what you guys do, and we'll help you however we can. Just don't send Norm Potter to my house, okay? I don't want to be giving no money, that I don't even have, because that man can talk you out of anything. No, I know that you guys have great people working. I know he doesn't work with you guys anymore, but how many people do you guys have in your department?
Never enough.
Okay. So if you want to
Good
volunteer
answer.
too, yeah.
That's right. Well, and I'm not going to let go of that comment, because our volunteers are really important to
Right.
us. We have volunteer advisory groups that work with us for a number of different areas, cancer being one of them. And they're incredibly important to us in the community, because they're out there telling the story every day, to a friend, a coworker, and just hearing that from somebody who isn't employed here but is very much partnered with us is really important. So we can't thank those folks enough.
That's cool. All right, so let's get we got a Winston-Salem question here, and then we'll let you ladies get back to doing your work. Holy cow. I mean, it's just the one thing, and in real estate there's not a lot that's the same ever, but to be able to jump from scholarships to research to cancer patients and things like that, I mean, it's got to be fulfilling in your job, but also it's got to provide that refreshment of not having to drink the same soda every day. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's very cool. It's really exciting. I mean, there's always something fascinating going on here, and I feel like I'm always learning. I'm learning through the research. I'm amazed by the students that we have here, and their vision for the future. And then our care providers, our nurses, our doctors, the hours that they put in and the commitment that they make to the patients, it's all very refreshing. I mean, you look at it and think, yeah, this is something I want to be a part of every day.
All right, ma'am. First and finest, I'll go ahead and throw that in there, right? What was your sorority? What were you in? No, she didn't even gonna tell me. All right, so question. We're gonna let you take this one.
Okay.
Because you've been in Winston long enough, so you've seen like the downtown transition. What have you liked about it? What have you not liked about it? So where do you see Winston-Salem going, I guess, would be what I'd ask you.
So I'm going to come back to you. I'll come back and answer that, but I want to bring your first question full circle.
Okay.
Real estate.
Yeah.
you're in real estate, and what draws people to this community a lot of times is the care that's
Right.
provided here in this
Oh,
community.
absolutely, yeah.
So people will make a decision about a home purchase based on how they can access care, and
And then
that's
you've got the
interesting to
CQ
see.
house, which is phenomenal, and I'll
Right.
tell you something about that when we
Right.
get off there.
But to ask about Winston-Salem, what I like about downtown, what's happening, what I don't like, I would say, having been here almost 30 years now, and going downtown, I was down there last Sunday with my daughter in Innovation Quarter, and we just went to take pictures and see the school, and when you just stand back
You see that? She's telling her boss on a Sunday she's working. I saw that.
no.
I mean, I heard it.
But when you stand, we had just finished Alumni Weekend, and I took my daughter down to see Innovation Quarter, and we were standing in front of the school and looking back at the smokestacks, and just, it brought together the regeneration of our community, because they've made something out of when I first came to town, you really just didn't go that far downtown. And now you want to go downtown. And I love seeing that. I love being there. I love being a part of it. Walking down there, we have meetings downtown on occasion, well, more than on occasion, a lot of times. And when you walk down to the school in Innovation Quarter and you see the students and the excitement and the curiosity, which we've touched on a lot during this interview, that to me is just, that just says it all about where we live. And I really can't think about anything I don't like right now about our downtown.
I'm going to switch it up on you because you did say
Okay.
something. How did the students like being downtown?
They love it.
Really?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
love it.
And so then go into the regular question. But
Right. I mean, I think for the students, it's very energizing to be downtown. And I think that they have found that to be very motivating. It makes them want to be part of the community. And it's been a great experience having them down there.
Cool. All right. Well, we got Lisa Marshall, who of course is Vice President with Atrium Health Wake Forest Baptist,
Very
and
good.
Associate Vice President. That's big, Joanna Lyall. We really appreciate you guys watching us today. Thank you, ladies, for the wonderful work you do, raising money for all these wonderful causes. And who would think that we need to get scholarships to get kids into medical school too? So that's awesome that you guys do all that. Appreciate you guys being here today. Joanna, of course, did not tell you that we were going to be on video. And everybody looks wonderful, so I don't understand this. So we'll be back next week with more Camel City Chat. Thanks a lot.